are you doing?
I'm making a sandwich.
Max, I thought we were going out for dinner.
Well, we are, but listen, I'm starving. I just couldn't help it. I couldn't wait. Don't worry. I'll still be hungry when it's dinner time.
Well, you better.
Listen, why aren't you dressed yet? Ginny and Ryan will be here any minute.
I couldn't decide what to wear. Honey, why don't you help me pick out some?
I already helped you pick out 2 dresses.
I know, but it didn't feel right. Oh.
I'll get it. You go ahead. Hey!
Hi, you ready to go?
Ooh, you look nice. Yeah, I'm ready. I don't know about Rena.
Oh,
hey, big guy.
Well, Rena, what a lovely gown.
I couldn't make up my mind.
Come on, I have to.
Listen, you feel like having a sandwich? It looks like it might be a while before we have dinner.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, when is Mr. Collins going to start that directional survey on Justin's well?
Well, sometime tomorrow we should have some answers tomorrow night.
Yeah, well, I know what the answer's going to be. Justin Marshall is slant drilling.
I hope you're wrong, Max.
I'm not wrong. I'll bet my last dollar on it.
You finally finished for the day?
Yep. Looks like you're still busy, though. What you doing?
Trying to work out these figures on the Mississippi oil project. Trying to find out whether it's wasting my time or not.
Well, now, I thought that man that owned the mineral rights came to you and asked you to work out the deal.
He did. But if I'm in jail...
Justin, the reason that I manipulated Ryan Connor was to keep you from going to jail.
I know, I've been trying to reach Bubba all afternoon. I haven't been able to find him. I'm afraid Bubba may be up to something.
Like what?
Maybe he's trying to double-cross me.
Joe, what are you doing?
What's it look like I'm doing? I'm trying to fix some food.
Well, Dr. McAllister told you that you have to stay in bed for at least a day. Now, come on.
Well, you say I also had to starve?
Well, I told you that I would fix you something to eat when I got home. I'll get you whatever you want.
Well, all we got's 1 can of chili. Until somebody goes to the grocery store, that's going to have to be it.
Well, I wanted to go shopping on the way home, but I didn't have the time.
What stopped you?
Joe, I gotta go over to the coop and sing tonight. Otherwise, somebody's gonna get suspicious.
Do you think Elena's going to be sick again tonight?
I don't know. I called out there a couple times today. There wasn't any answer.
Well, I thought Elena lived on the ranch with you.
Well, she just moved back to her apartment at the Aquarius yesterday.
Maybe it's all that moving around that's making her sick.
You don't really believe Elena was sick, do you?
I think it's a little strange, don't you?
Texas, starring Beverly McKenzie.
My. Whoa, aren't you for vision?
Thanks.
What are you two eating?
Ham and cheese. You want some?
I thought we were having dinner at the boathouse.
Well, we are, but Ryan and I, we needed something to tide ourselves over. You ready to go?
I think so, unless you want something to drink, Jenny.
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Ryan, did you tell Justin about hiring a directional survey engineer?
Yeah, he wasn't too pleased about that.
Yeah, I'll bet he wasn't, because he knows what the engineer's going to find.
Well, he was angry because I didn't trust him.
Well, as long as he works with Bubba Wadsworth, everyone in town is going to question his honesty.
We won't know if he's dishonest until this investigation's completed.
Just do me a favor. Let's not talk about the oil business tonight. Let's just concentrate on having a good time, okay?
That's a great idea.
Oh, darn. I forgot to phone up the boathouse, check to see if they take credit cards.
Hey, I have some cash, I think.
What's Kate doing tonight, Jenny?
Oh, she and Steve went over to have dinner with Buddy and Wanda.
Has Steve decided whether he's going to camp?
Well, as of tonight, he wanted to go, but of course that could change tomorrow. You never know.
Well, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm ready to go dancing.
Well, so am I.
Oh, wait a minute. Did you lock the barn?
I sure did. And tomorrow night, They're gonna lock up Justin and Bubba. Mwah. Come on, let's go. Okay. Woo.
Bubba Wadsworth has just as much to lose in this as you do.
Not quite.
Well, now, was it his idea to get Jay Collins to do the survey?
Yes.
Well, that shows he's as concerned about it as you are. Well, now, this afternoon you sure seemed all sure about him.
But you weren't. And you're right about those things.
You looking to find me, Justin?
Where the devil have you been?
I have been to Louisiana, working on our next project. Boys are having some trouble down there where we're going to dig, so I thought I'd just push them a little and speed things up.
You could have called me and told me you were leaving town.
I could have.
And why didn't you?
What am I supposed to do? Check in with you every hour?
Justin, I'll be in my office if you need me.
What does she mean by that?
Ashley looks out for me.
Well, aren't you a lucky man? So how'd you make out on that survey problem?
Collins has been hired.
Great. Hey, buddy, that's great. You're doing real good.
We'd better be able to trust this guy, Bubba.
I guarantee it.
How much is Collins' survey going to cost us?
Oh, 200,000 and change. Don't worry. That's only a drop in the bucket compared to what we're going to bring in. Besides, isn't your freedom worth at least that much?
You better not try to double-cross me.
Oh, hang on. I mean, I cut corners all the time. I shade the truth now and then, but hell, everybody does that. It's part of the game. But I never double-crossed anybody in my life. I ain't gonna start now. There's got to be some honor among thieves, you know.
Joe, I've been thinking
Thinking what?
about that confession that you promised to write.
I'm gonna write that confession just as soon as I get that money back from Gus.
And what happens if you don't get it back?
I gotta get it back. It's the only way I'm gonna get far enough out of the country.
You know, Dennis Carrington is going to prison tomorrow
I know that.
for a crime that he didn't commit.
Elena, I'm moving on this just as fast as I can. How was I supposed to know that I was gonna get sick?
Well, would it be so terrible if you wrote that confession before you got the money?
Yes, it would. Now, I've already told you. If the cops get that confession now, they'll know I'm still in Houston. I'm not gonna write any confession till I get the money in my hand and I get a plane ticket to South America.
So what happens if the police do find out that you're in Houston?
Are you crazy?
Well, the worst could happen is they find you and they arrest you.
Elena!
And then you could tell them it was an accident and you could...
Elena, you're making me mad!
Well, you gotta think of something besides yourself, Joe.
Why? It's obvious no one else around here is.
I wouldn't be here if I wasn't.
All you're concerned about is whether Dennis Carrington's gonna have to spend a few days in jail. Where are you going?
I'm going to the coop.
You coming back?
So that'll be 1 beer, 2 mint juleps, and a bourbon and water. Say, aren't you Jake Johnson's boy? You're Caleb. Hey, listen, I'm Max Decker. I went to school with your older brother, Buster. Hey, Rena, you remember Buster Johnson, don't you?
They played football, didn't they?
Yeah, Buster was fullback the year we won the state championship.
Buster's one of the owners here. My daddy, he supplies the beef, and old Buster, he sells it.
Well, that's wonderful. Say, listen, maybe we ought to open our own restaurant to sell our beef, huh?
Think we'd need a few more cattle first.
Boy, I sure like it here.
Yeah, the music is wonderful. You know, when I was a kid, Stryker used to have all of Glenn Miller's records. I played them all the time.
I remember my father had his picture taken with Glenn Miller once during the war. He was so proud of that, much more so than all his medals.
Really?
Great.
Well, I know my sister Elena makes her money singing country and western, but I like this kind of music a lot better.
Tell me, Max, how is Elena?
I guess she's okay. She got bored with all the peace and quiet out at the ranch, and she moved back into Houston.
Kate told me she was kind of jumpy and nervous when she was out at the ranch.
She's gonna need more time to recover from being kidnapped again.
Oh, boy, I guess so. I don't think I'd ever recover from that.
Did anyone ever find the guy who took her hostage?
No, everyone thinks she's left the country.
Ladies,
Oh, here we are.
compliments of the house.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Great.
You be
Thank
sure
you
and
very
thank
much.
Buster for us now.
Ryan, wherever he is, Iris won't stop until she finds him, because if he did kill Chris Shaw, do you realize that Dennis would be exonerated?
Well, I sure would like to get my hands on that guy for shooting Ricky and kidnapping Elena.
Honey, there's a long line of people who feel the same way, but the law will have to take care of it.
Just the way the law is going to take care of Justin Marshall.
And after I see the cost estimate and the economic study, I'll talk to you about buying into the deal. Yeah, at least 41%, maybe even more. Bye. You call me the first of next week.
Looks like you're back in business.
I am.
Bubba Wadsworth convinced you to trust him again.
Well, I didn't have much choice, did I? If I was going to wait for that directional survey to happen tomorrow, I could have missed out on this deal. It's going to make much more money for me than the Harper well.
Is Bubba in on that deal, too?
No, it's all mine. The guy that owns the mineral rights was a friend of my daddy's.
Well, I'm glad to see that you're feeling better.
Yeah. Looks like it's clear sailing from here on in. I want to celebrate. Let's go dance.
Justin, don't you think that it's a little bit premature to be celebrating?
Oh, you're still worried about Bubba, aren't you?
Yes. I should think that you would be, too.
Well, nobody can do anything about that now. We'll know for sure tomorrow. In the meantime, I want to have some fun.
Okay. Where do you want to go dancing?
Oh, KVIK did a special segment about a place called, the Boathouse. Yeah, it's out on the lake. They play Tommy Dorsey and Glenn Miller, all the big band sounds. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
Sounds good, but I certainly can't go like this.
Well, you bought a new dress last week. Don't you remember? I helped you pick it out.
Think that'll be all right?
Oh, it'll be perfect. Listen, your apartment's on the way to the lake. Won't take you long to change, will it?
Well, now that just depends. Maybe.
Oh. Well, let's go. Fancy.
Well, I think having Ricky sing at the coop on a more permanent basis is not a bad idea.
I think it's a very good idea.
Are you acting as Ricky's agent?
I am Ricky's agent.
Oh. Well, then I assume you've discussed this with him.
Yes, I have. And he's agreeable, if the terms are acceptable.
While others left me on the run. This is the only way. Only way I have to see.
Hey, something wrong?
Well, I was just thinking about you. And about how talented you are.
You sure know how to embarrass a guy, Ruby.
I'm just being honest. You have a great voice.
I do, huh?
I mean your singing voice. I think you should make singing your career.
Well, like I said, I had a band in high school, and that was enough.
There's a lot of money in a singing career.
Yeah, if you happen to be the 1 in a million who makes it to the top.
You could be that 1 in a million.
Well, look at Elena. She's got herself a hit record, and I don't see her getting rich.
Maybe she doesn't have what it takes to stay up there.
Oh, and you think that I do?
I think you have everything it takes to do a lot more than that. All you need now is a good manager.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure Billy Joe would be real hot on that idea.
Well, I wasn't thinking of Billy Joe.
Well, he's the only manager I know.
You know me.
You know, since when did you become a manager?
I dabbled in it when I was in Nashville.
You know, you seem to have dabbled in a lot of things in Nashville, but you never did tell me exactly what you did there.
What would you say if I could get Mr. Parnell to pay you $500 a week for singing here at the Coop?
I'd say you're off your rocker.
Maybe I am, but I think I can do it.
Oh, what about Elena? She's supposed to just step aside?
I'd work out a deal that's acceptable to both you and Elena.
Now, I know you're off your rocker.
I know Mr. Parnell and I could work something out that would make you both very happy. What do you say?
You're really serious about this, aren't you?
I couldn't be more serious.
Excuse me, is Elena Decker going to be singing here tonight?
Far as I know.
What time's the second show?
Well, it's real hard to tell exactly. You sometimes... Oh, my Lord.
What's wrong?
You're Freddie Fender.
That's right. And what is your name?
Oh, I'm Bobby Sue Baker.
Sue, I'm very pleased to meet you. Very nice to meet you. You were telling me about the second show.
Well, it's usually around midnight.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks a lot. And we'll see you, Mama. Okay?
Well, what a pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Why? Freddie Fender. Whoa.
Oh, hey, Bobby Sue. Where is everybody?
Did you see him, or was I just dreaming?
Did I see who?
Freddie Fender.
Here in the coop?
Yeah.
Bobby Sue, I think you were dreaming.
Here I am going on about myself, and I suppose you're worried about the show. Honey, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You're not going to be sick again or anything?
Bobby Sue, has Billy Joe said anything to you about me canceling so much?
Oh, you know Billy Joe. He can write out anything. His sister, of course, is another matter altogether.
Ruby?
Yeah, she seems real concerned about your health.
I'm gonna go, Bobby Sue.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And every time Daddy would raise his voice after that, Billy Joe would have that front porch cleaned off in 2 seconds flat.
All right, Ruby. Nobody's interested in your childhood stories.
Well, I thought it was sort of funny there, Billy Joe.
I just wish Elena hurry up and get here, that's all.
Yeah, well, you're getting your wish.
Hi,
How
everybody.
you doing, baby?
Oh, boy, am I glad to see you. I'll go tell the band you're here, all right?
Okay.
Have a seat.
Thanks. How are you feeling?
Fine.
You in good, boys?
Well, I don't know. It's been so long since I've sung here.
Well, I have the feeling you're going to be in top voice tonight.
Yeah, the customers are sure going to be glad you're back.
Yeah, that is if they remember who I am.
Oh, they'll remember who you are. They were real polite to me, but you're the one they've been waiting to hear.
Elena, Ricky and I were just talking about a little idea I had.
Ruby.
What
no.
idea?
Well, I was wondering if it might take some of the strain off you if you and Ricky alternated at the coop.
Alternated?
Yeah, you know, you'd sing one night and Ricky would sing the next. And that way you wouldn't have to be here every night. I know it's not easy to sing 2 shows a night, 6 days a week.
Elena, this is just an idea that Ruby had. And I don't want you to...
Wait a minute. I think it's a great idea.
You do?
Yeah, I think it's terrific.
I'm going to take you here dancing once a week from now on. How about that?
Don't think we have to go dancing quite that often.
Oh, no, I want you to be happy. I'd love to hear that laugh of yours.
I haven't laughed this much in such a long time.
You haven't had very much to laugh about. Everything's changed now. Hey, I've never seen Max so happy, have you?
hope it lasts.
It will.
Not if Justin's survey proves to be that he's not slant drilling.
Well, I think Max will find some way to deal with it. I mean, they're building a house or starting a family. No, I think they're going to be fine. Just like us.
At one point, there's
Hey, listen. Why don't we get your daddy's Glenn Miller records and play him at our barn dance?
Oh, I think we'd have a lot of disappointed friends and neighbors. They're all counting on stomping and two-stepping.
I guess you're right.
You know, honey, I'm going to have to remember to invite Jake Johnson and Buster and Caleb. Yeah, to the barn dance.
Well, that's a good idea. You know, Jake Johnson was my daddy's best friend. Yeah, they grew up together. And they fell in love with the same woman.
Do you mean your mama?
Yes.
Did they stay friends after the wedding?
Yes, they did. Jake's my godfather, and, well, he's always been real nice to me and Ricky and Elena.
You haven't spent much time with your godfather, have you?
Not unless I have to for business reasons. You know, he's been traveling around a lot the last couple of years. He finally just started making good money about the last 10. Now he and his wife, they traveling around, take trips whenever they feel like it.
Sounds wonderful to me.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to doing that myself. Once our kids are old enough to be on their own.
When they're old enough, we'll take them with us.
I like that idea even better. You start making up lists of places you want to go.
Doesn't matter as long as we're together.
Listen, did you tell your mama and daddy that we were going to go to Acapulco after the barn dance?
No, not yet, but I'll tell them tomorrow.
Okay.
I can see that you two nice people are having a good time.
What about you two?
Well, I think we ought to be coming here every week.
Every week?
Yeah, well, I'm in favor of that. All right.
Well, look who's here.
Lena, honey, why don't you think about her suggestion before you go agreeing to it right off the bat?
Well, I have thought about it. I think it's a great idea. Well, have you mentioned it to Billy Joe yet? Not yet, but I will.
You know, I think you're going to have a little more trouble convincing Billy Joe than you did with her.
Well, hi, Mr. Parnell.
Hi, Ruby. Ricky?
Mr. Parnell, I don't believe you've met Elena Decker yet.
Hi.
Well, I'm very pleased to finally be meeting the famous Elena Decker. I was beginning to wonder if you really existed.
She exists, all right.
I'll be looking forward to hearing you sing tonight.
Thank you.
Is Billy Joe around?
Oh, he's out back with some of the band.
Oh, good. I want to talk to him a couple of things. Nice meeting you, Elena.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Parnell. Well, if y'all will excuse me, I think I'll go powder my nose. So that's the owner of the coop, huh?
Yeah, what do you think?
Well, he seems all right. There's something about him that's real familiar.
How's Roy?
Well, I just talked to him a few minutes ago, and I think he's a lot better. He should be back tomorrow.
Good.
Mr. Parnell, I wondered if I could talk to you for a minute.
Sure. Talk.
Well, it's about that matter we discussed this morning.
Here or, in my office?
In your office, if you don't mind.
What a wonderful coincidence.
I'm glad you think it's wonderful.
Ashley, this is Ginny Marshall.
Yes, we met this morning. Hello again, Jenny.
Hello?
I'm surprised that you're not on your way to Mexico with your good friend Bubba Wadsworth.
Why is that, Max?
Because when that engineer's report comes in tomorrow, you won't be able to stay in Houston except behind bars.
I think you're going to be disappointed if you're counting on that survey to prove that I was slant drilling. It's just not going to happen. It's a legal well. And I just hope that when the report comes in, we can forget about hard feelings. Be friends again, Max.
Justin, you and I were never really friends.
I came here tonight to have a good time, not to argue about oil.
Oh, that's why Ashley and I came. Have a good time. I hope that you and Ginny will save a dance for me. Certainly would appreciate that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend her, Max.
Excuse me.
What time is the survey going to happen, Ryan?
Sometime tomorrow morning.
Will you be at the site?
Bet I will.
Since you're the person who has accused me of being a crook, I hope you're there too, Max.
Wouldn't miss it for the world.
Good. Good.
Rena, don't let Justin spoil your evening. You're bound to run into him from time to time. Don't be so upset. He's not worth it.
I know. I'm sorry, Ginny.
Do you want to go?
Not particularly.
Rena, the more you react to Justin, the more he's going to try to antagonize you. Just ignore him. He'll get bored, give up, and leave you alone. He enjoys upsetting you. Don't give him that satisfaction. Rena? Rena, are you listening to me?
Mm-hmm. Something strange is going on, Ginny.
Honey, we ran into about 3 or 4 couples that we all know here tonight.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the way Justin is behaving. He's too calm and he's too self-assured.
Well, if Justin does not slant drilling, then he has nothing to worry about.
Ryan told us that Justin was furious when he shut up the well. He even went to Iris about it.
He was angry with Ryan about doubting his word.
Oh, he's not the type of man to take stock in the honor of his word.
Well, he was probably upset about losing money when he shut down the well.
He was terrified what that survey would prove. But now look at him. He's acting like Max and Ryan are his best friends. Something's going on, Ginny, and I don't know what it is.
Rena.
I know him. I know Justin, and he's too calm. He's up to something.
Hello?
Oh, it's me.
Elena.
I just wanted to call you and see how you were feeling.
Oh, I'm fine.
Has the temperature stayed down?
Yeah. How are you?
I'm okay.
You been on yet?
No, in a few minutes.
I wish I could hear you.
Yeah, I do too. I have some good news for you.
Yeah, what?
Well, I'll talk about it later when I get back there.
Then you are coming back.
Joe, I'm sorry that we argued.
Oh, Elena, look, it was my fault. I've been doing a lot of thinking about what you said.
We can talk about that later, okay? I just wanted to tell you that I was thinking about you.
I'm thinking about you, too. Hey, Elena?
What?
Good luck with the show.
Thanks. I was just talking to a friend.
Well, from the look on your face, it must have been a pretty close friend.
It is.
Well, I just had a little talk with Mr. Parnell about the new singing arrangement.
What'd he say? He thinks it's a great idea.
Good. Of course, we'll all have to get together later and work out the schedule.
That's fine. I think I'm gonna go find Billy Joe and tell him I'm ready to start.
I want to go home.
This is a great place. You got all dressed up. You love the music.
I'm uncomfortable
Because of Rena.
because of the whole group.
Well, they're a little hostile, but they're hostile towards me, darling, not you.
Justin, I really just think it would be better. Everybody would have a better time if you and I just left.
If they're not having a good time because of me, let them go someplace else. I'm not in the habit of being intimidated.
Justin, please, take me home.
Of course.
I wonder why they're leaving.
I don't care, do you? Now we can relax and enjoy ourselves. Let's dance.
Okay.
Come on, you guys.
Right.
Wow. lucky we didn't have a crisis on our hands. It looked like Max was going to deck Justin on the dance floor.
You know what? I thought Rena might do the same thing.
Hey, do you realize we've almost spent the entire day together? As I saw you this morning at the office. We had lunch together. And dinner.
Are you getting tired of me, Mr. Connor?
Oh, I want to spend all my time with you.
Well, once we're married.
But I hate having to leave you at night.
Ryan, we agreed to have an old-fashioned courtship. It was your idea, remember?
Yeah, I wish I'd never suggested it.
Well, my divorce is final soon, and then we'll have the rest of our lives together.
Rena, let's have our anniversary here.
All right.
Let's celebrate all our anniversaries here.
Oh, how many you planning to have?
50, maybe 60.
Do you think you can put up with me that long?
I fell in love with you the first time I ever saw you. I love you more and more every day.
I'll love you forever, Max.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the little lady you all came here to hear. Of course, you've all heard her hit record. It's all over town on the radio. And, well, I know you came here to the coop to hear her in person. Okay, so how about a big, warm homecoming welcome to the coop's own Elena Decker!
Real special to me, and I hope it'll be real special to you too.
I've heard some stories about women who go from man to man. Stories of a world that's not my style. You can call me old-fashioned.
Papers.
Good.
Made the changes we talked about. You can give that to your client and let me know if it's agreeable.
I'm sure it will be.
Are you gonna go in and listen to Elena?
I'll go in a minute.
I'm like a schoolgirl who's been carried away by her feelings. A schoolgirl who can only think her heart. But my friends say you're a fool, girl.
Hey, big brother. Don't hey, big brother me. What the devil you been up to anyways?
What do you mean?
Elena told me you made some kind of deal with Mr. Parnell so she could only perform here every other night.
That's right.
So what gives you the right to make a deal with my client at my club?
Part of the deal concerns my client.
Now, what are you talking about?
I represent Ricky Decker now. I did it for you.
Now, how do you figure that, huh?
Well, if I hadn't made some kind of arrangement, you would have lost Elena altogether.
I don't believe that. I told you I don't want Decker hanging around here at the coop.
Would you rather have him hanging around at Maggie's every night talking to Nita? At least this way you know where he is. You're gonna be real proud of your little sister one of these days.
Go to sleep, Justin.
I can't sleep.
Close your eyes. That always helps.
You're mad at me.
I'm not mad.
Sure as hell upset about something.
I'll be okay in the morning.
What are you upset about? Did I ask Rena for a dance? I just did that to antagonize Max. You know that.
I know that.
What's wrong?
It's just this whole oil business. It's being dishonest with Ryan and getting him to do that survey.
There's no reason for you to feel guilty about that.
There's every reason. I tricked him into hiring Jay Collins.
It's my fault. You did that for me.
Justin, that doesn't make it right.
Actually, I could go to jail if they find out that Bubba was slant drilling. There's nothing else we can do but rig the survey.
I know that.
I swear I didn't know what Bubba was doing, or I would have put a stop to it immediately. When this is all over, I promise I'll make up for it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I got you involved. I should have found a way out of it myself.
I offered to help.
Now you regret it. I don't want you being unhappy.
I'll be okay.
Suppose I go to Ryan Connor tomorrow morning. Tell him everything. He won't believe me, but if it'll make you happier.
If he doesn't believe you, you'll go to jail.
I'll take that chance. If it'll make you happy.
No. No, I don't want you to do that. I'll handle it. But thank you. Thank you for offering Justin.
Thank you. Putting yourself on the line for me. No one's ever cared enough about me to do anything like that before.
I saw you sleeping, dreaming there, all covered in warm. South City midnight. I'm much alright.
Hi, Joe.
How's the show?
Well, the audience seemed to like it all right.
I bet the audience loved you. But you're great.
How's your arm?
Well, the infection's gone. You said on the phone that you had a surprise for me.
Yeah. I worked out this arrangement so that I only have to go to the coop every other night. That means that people won't be so suspicious and, well, you and I could spend every other night together.
You know, when you left earlier, I wasn't sure whether you were ever coming back.
Joe, I told you I was sorry about that. Maybe I shouldn't have pushed you so hard about that confession.
No, Lana, you were right.
I think maybe we were just both being stubborn, that's all.
Well, Elena, I've been giving it some thought.
Joe, what do you think about my surprise?
It's great.
Is it?
Yeah. I like having you around.
Is that all?
What do you want me to say?
Joe, I want to stay here tonight.
Well, that's fine. I'll just sleep on the blanket.
No, I want you to stay right here. What's wrong?
Nothing.
I thought it would be what you would want. I like you, Joe.
I like you too. A lot. It's just that I told you, you're different from the other women I've known.
Different how?
Sometimes I just don't feel good enough for you. Sometimes I just don't even feel like I should touch you.
Joe, I want you to. I want you to make love to me.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.
That smells good. Sorry, honey. If I had gotten up early, I would have fixed that for you.
Oh, that's okay. Why don't you go back to bed and get some more sleep?
No, I'm fine. Oh, I had such a good time last night.
Me too. We'll go back to the boathouse soon. Maybe Friday.
I'll get it. Hello, Ryan. Come on in. We were just talking about what a good time we had last night. How about you and Jenny? Did you have fun?
Oh, we had a great time.
Hi, Ryan.
How you doing, Max?
You checking on the survey?
Yeah, I'm going over to the Harper Ranch right now. I was wondering if you want to come along with me.
Yeah, I sure do. But I got some stuff here I got to clear up first.
Ryan, how about some coffee?
No, thanks. I better get going. See y'all later, huh?
Okay. Thanks for stopping by, Ryan.
Okay.
Don't want you going over there, Max.
Why not?
Be smart. Let Ryan take care of things for you legally.
Honey, they are stealing oil from our property. I just want to make sure they prove it.
Honey, you don't even understand the procedure. Now, what good is it going to do you to go over there? You'll just get angry and you'll have a fight with Bubba and Justin. If you're smart, you'll stay away from there. Please.
Okay.
Must be quite a strain, having to keep two sets of everything.
Yeah, well, just make sure you got the right maps and calculations, okay?
Calm down. Justin, old Jay's expert at this sort of thing.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, take it easy, buddy. You got nothing to worry about.
I studied the actual calculations last night. I got them all right here in my head.
That makes me feel real safe. What happens if you forget them?
I won't forget them. But just in case, I got them written down on a piece of paper right here in my pocket.
That's what I like about you, Jay. You play all angles.
All right, can we get on with this? Come on.
We're just waiting on my partner. We'll get started as soon as he arrives.
Partner, I didn't hear anything about partner.
You want this legal or not?
Of course we do. What do you think we're paying you $250,000 for?
When I do a legal survey, I use a partner. Now, that's the way I've always worked. I don't see any reason to change my tactics now.
You sure you can trust this partner of yours?
We've worked together for 35 years. I think he's proved himself.
Oh, Ashley, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Collins, Ashley Linden.
We met in Mr. Connor's office.
Jay, why don't we go in and check the engineer's reports?
How's it going?
I think everything's going to be just fine, Ashley.
Hey, sleepyhead.
How long have you been awake?
Not long.
And what time is it?
Well, it's early. You sleep well?
I must have. I don't remember.
Sorry about the size of the bed.
Oh, I think it's cozy.
How you feel?
Wonderful.
You're not sorry?
No, I'm not.
Elena.
Joe, I love you. Still don't believe that, do you?
Well, I was wondering when you were going to get up.
Why, is it late?
No, particularly. But you were asleep when I got home from the coop last night.
I must have been tired.
Been sleeping a lot lately.
Have I?
Depression.
Maybe.
You'd be a lot better off if you could get Dennis out of your system.
Dennis is out of my system.
Hello.
Could I speak to Paige, please?
Just a moment. It's your husband.
Hello, Dennis. What can I do for you?
I was wondering if you could meet me at Stryker Bellman's office.
Sure, I could. Why?
I want him to draw up the papers for our divorce.
Texas, starring Beverly McKinsey.
You plan on being here all day?
Well, the survey should take about 3 hours when they finally get around to it. And another couple of hours to finish the calculations and the paperwork. Should take the best part of the day, though.
Do you have to be here?
I want to stay here till it's finished, Ashley.
Well, I was just thinking that, maybe it would look better if you just left after a couple hours.
Listen, if Ryan Connor is still here, nobody can accuse me of tampering with anything.
Okay. But if he leaves for any reason, promise me that you'll leave too.
Okay, I will.
Hello.
Lily.
Yeah, Lily. Well, don't you look pretty? You do something new with your hair?
When will the survey be done?
Well, they haven't even started it yet, Lily.
Just waiting on my partner. As soon as he gets here, we'll be underway. What stake do you have in this little lady?
My granddaddy owns this land.
Well, I hope it works out for you. I'm going over and check out the well site.
Hey, Sugar, you got nothing to worry about. Nobody's slab drilling on this place.
Max Decker sure thinks someone is.
Well, Max Decker's wrong, Lily.
Why don't you and I go over downtown maybe tonight and celebrate, just the two of us, huh?
Can't.
I'll show you a real good time.
I have plans.
We'll break them.
Bubba, get your hands off of her.
What?
I better go see what my granddaddy's doing.
Hey, look, we better get going if we want to make it to work on time.
Wait a minute. Did you hear what I said to you?
I heard you.
So why does that make you so uncomfortable when I say that?
Oh, come on, Elena.
I love you, Joe. I think that you love me, too.
You stop with that mushy stuff.
Hey, do you remember the letter that you wrote me in the barn?
I never should have written that letter. Now I'm sorry I did.
I love you, Joe Foster. And maybe if I keep saying it enough, you'll get used to it.
You want to shower first?
It doesn't matter.
Well, why don't you go on? I'll make some coffee.
Okay. Can I, use your toothbrush again?
Sure. Use whatever you want.
What are you doing?
What does it look like I'm doing? I'm going to go make some coffee.
Do you always make coffee wrapped in a sheet?
I'm modest. Is that okay with you?
Oh, after last night?
Yeah, after last night.
Are you always this modest?
You know, you sure do ask a lot of questions. I have never met anybody who is so full of questions as you.
That is the only way I'm ever going to get to learn anything about you, Joe Foster.
Go on.
Okay. I want us to talk about something while we're having coffee.
Talk about what?
Joe, I did a lot of thinking last night, and I made up my mind about something.
What?
Money or no money, you have got to write a confession that'll free Dennis Carrington.
What did Dennis want?
Wants me to meet with him and his lawyer, Stryker Bellman, to work out a divorce.
Does that bother you? I thought you had gotten Dennis out of your system.
I should have guessed this was coming.
Well, I hope you hit him for a big fat settlement.
I don't want to settle.
Come on, Paige. Don't you think you've been playing the martyr long enough?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Alex Wheeler's will left Dennis 1/3 of World Oil.
So?
So, I think you ought to take him to the cleaners. He expects it. Everybody expects it.
I don't want anything from Dennis. Not now.
Nothing but Dennis himself. Is that it?
I don't want Dennis either.
Wish I could believe that.
Well, believe it. Because it's true.
You still love Dennis, Paige.
Whether I love him or not is not the point, Peter. The point is I know it's over between us. It's just finished.
Is it?
Don't.
You're a fool, Paige.
I'm gonna get dressed now, Peter.
How about some more toast?
No, thanks.
What are you gonna do today?
Work on the books. If you don't mind ledgers and checkbooks all over your table here.
As long as it keeps you home, it's all right with me.
Now, I promised you that I wouldn't go over to the Harper place and get in a fight with anyone.
I know. Ginny told me that Justin stopped by to see Kate this morning.
What for?
Oh, didn't you know? You want her to go with him to watch a survey being done.
Well, that's strange.
He's just trying to make peace with her.
Well, when that engineer's report comes in the morning, Justin will never be able to reconcile with Kate.
Unless it proves he's drilling legally, Max.
He's not. There's no way.
Well, honey, he must have been pretty confident. Otherwise, he wouldn't showed up at the survey, let alone ask Kate to go with him.
Rena, honey, that is just an act. Now, Justin is getting pretty good at that act lately. You wait till you see the act that he's going to put on when that engineer says that he's slant drilling.
Max.
I know that there is no oil on that Harper land. The only place that oil can be coming from is our property.
Honey,
that's why they put that rig right on our border.
Darling, don't you think there's a possibility that you could be wrong?
I'm not, I tell you. I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I better do some work.
Lady, why in the hell don't you mind your own business?
Watch your mouth, Bubba.
She doesn't like you, Bubba, so why don't you just leave her alone? Why don't you pick on somebody your own age?
What are you, her mother?
No, I hardly even know her. But I can certainly understand why she doesn't like you.
Shh, she likes me. She's just putting on a show for you.
Some show. I thought she was gonna throw up when you touched her.
What's the holdup, huh?
Mr. Collins is waiting for his friend to bring up some new equipment. It'll be settled in a few minutes.
Is there a phone I can use?
Is there, I think there's one in the trailer.
Yeah,
Is there anything
trailer.
Can I do anything for you?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you can take care of some things for me. Ashley, come on.
Excuse me.
I told you to watch your mouth around Ashley.
Yeah.
I told you before, and I'm not going to tell you
Will
again.
you get your hands off of me?
And if I ever see you hanging around Lurleen anymore, I'm going to wrap you right around a telephone pole.
You would try it. Come on. Come on, why don't you try it? Come on.
We've had enough problems without you messing around with Lurleen.
Stryker, I'd like to thank you for seeing me on such short notice.
I want to do everything I can for you, of course, but I also want you to understand your decision thoroughly first.
Well, I should have done something about the divorce before, but I had too many other things to contend with.
Divorce is a serious matter, Dennis. Maybe you ought to consider legal separation.
Stryker, I'm going to jail in a couple of days. Under those circumstances, a separation wouldn't make much sense. Besides, Paige and I already had a separation when I was in jail.
You don't think there's anything you can do to salvage the marriage?
No, nothing.
What are the grounds for divorce?
What grounds are there?
That depends. Is Paige agreeable to the divorce?
She told me she would be.
Well, if the divorce is not contested, maybe it's better that Paige sue you for divorce.
Well, now, why would I let her do that?
That's considered the gentlemanly thing to do, Dennis.
Huh. What grounds does Paige have?
She could sue you on the grounds that you've been convicted as a felon.
Oh, look, that's fine. I'll do the gentlemanly thing. I don't care.
Makes me sad to see marriages end like this. I suppose you know what's best. Yes, Hallie. Oh, send her right in, please.
Hello, Stryker.
Paige.
Hello, Dennis.
I'm sorry to have called you on such short notice. I assume you know why you're here.
Yes,
This time I do.
Do you have legal advice?
No, I only heard about the meeting this morning, Stryker.
I suggest you get yourself a lawyer.
Is that really necessary? I told Dennis if he wanted this divorce, I wouldn't stand in his way.
No, I think it's best that you get a lawyer. I feel uncomfortable representing you both.
All right, whatever you say.
Hallie will give you a list of lawyers who handle matrimonial matters.
Thank you.
For appearance's sake, Dennis has agreed to let you sue for divorce on the grounds that he was a convicted felon.
Stryker, I've been giving that some thought.
We have already discussed this.
I know that. But I've changed my mind.
And?
I'm going to take the action myself. I'm going to sue Paige for divorce on grounds of adultery.
Hi, Lurleen.
Hi, Rena.
Come on in.
Thanks.
How's the survey going?
They only started 20 minutes ago. They had trouble with some of the equipment.
Oh, that figures.
Is Max here? I asked Guy, and he said he came back to the cabin.
No, he had to take a quick shower, but he'll be out in a minute.
I want to talk to him before the survey's finished.
Okay. By the way, have you seen Ryan Connor over there?
Yes. And Ashley Linden and Justin and...
And? Who else, Lurleen?
Bubba Wadsworth.
You don't like him very much, do you?
No.
Neither do I. I think he's dishonest.
I think so, too.
You're afraid of Bubba for some reason, aren't you?
I just don't like roughnecks who act so macho.
Tell me, has he done anything to hurt you? Has he given you any real trouble?
No. No, I just don't like to be around him, that's all.
Fine.
If you're busy, I can come back in a while.
Oh, come on. Why don't you stay for lunch?
Oh, I don't think I should.
Oh, but Max would love it. So would I.
Okay. Thank you. Well, that about does it for a while, Joe.
Man, where did all those people come from?
I don't know. It beats me.
You know, I think I should be in the Guinness Book of Records. Largest amount of hamburgers cooked in the shortest amount of time.
Well, I've been so busy I haven't even had time to read today's paper.
Oh.
There's an article about Dennis Carrington in here.
Now, don't you start up on me again.
Dennis Carrington is going to jail. How sad. Right after Alex Wheeler has died.
What?
I said it's sad that Dennis Carrington is going to jail right after Alex Wheeler died.
When did he die?
He died about 2 or 3 weeks ago, right after you got shot.
What did he die of?
Well, the papers said it was a stroke.
Well, now, what did this guy Wheeler have to do with Dennis Carrington?
Alex Wheeler was Dennis's father.
Look, you killed Chris. What difference does one more make?
That was an accident.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like the one Alex Wheeler's gonna have.
I said no. From now on, you get someone else to do your dirty work for you, okay?
Joe. Joe.
Yeah, if I get that money in 2 days, I'll have the confession.
Yeah, and if you don't, you let an innocent man go to jail for a murder that you committed.
Now, look, Gus is going to come back in here again. When he does, I'm going to follow him to his apartment, and I'm going to get my money.
How do you know he's going to come back here?
He'll be back.
How can you be so sure?
He asked you out on a date, didn't he? He'll be back.
Yeah, and if he's not, the police are going to put Dennis in prison.
Elena, will you stop?
I will not stop until you write that confession, Joe.
Dennis, this is highly irregular.
Hasn't a guy got a right to change his mind?
It's not a matter of changing your mind. You've already authorized me to set a course of action.
Stryker, I'm going to jail for punishment for a crime I supposedly committed, aren't I? That's what the law is for, to punish people.
I suppose so, but...
Well, I think it's only fair that Paige should be punished for everything she's done.
Paige, do you mind if I...
I don't think that's necessary, Stryker. I can understand you're wanting to hurt me, Dennis. I think you have every right after what I've put you through.
Paige, you can drop the self-sacrificing act because you're not going to get any more money.
I don't want anything from you, Dennis.
And I don't believe that for a minute. That is what you married me for, isn't it?
Yes. In the beginning, your having money did influence me. But I loved you, Dennis.
I'm waiting for the punchline.
I didn't bother to bring a lawyer here today because I wanted to give you whatever you asked for. You see, it doesn't make any difference to me now.
Oh, but Texas law says you're entitled to half of everything I own.
I know the law. But if I can't have your love, I don't want anything. I realize now that you're never going to love me again. And I'm prepared to give you whatever you ask for.
Good.
But there's one thing I won't give you, Dennis.
I knew there was a catch somewhere.
I can't give you a divorce on the grounds you're asking.
Why not?
Because I haven't committed adultery.
Was Ryan Connor over there supervising the project?
Yes, was.
And I guess Justin is hanging around over there too, isn't he?
Yes. There's one thing I'd like to get straight.
What's that, Lurleen?
There's nothing in the world I want more than to be rich. But I don't want to do it on someone else's oil. If Justin is stealing oil off your property, I'll try and get as much money as I can from my granddaddy and give it back to you. He's already spent a lot of it, but it might take me a while to pay it back, but however long it takes, I'll do it.
You don't have to do that, Lurleen.
If it's not our oil, we have no right to the money.
Listen, Lurleen, I wish you could be rich. But I know that Justin is pumping the oil from our land. Now, I'm sorry. I really am.
Well, I never expected my dreams to come true anyway. They're really kind of silly. Fancy cars and silk clothes. A house with pine paneling, a den, and a big screen TV.
Those aren't silly dreams, Lurleen. You can make them come true one day, even without the oil well.
The money made me different, Rena. It made me a different person.
I gave you confidence, and that's a good thing. But you've got that now. You don't have to worry about losing that just because you might lose the money. You hold on to that, honey. You make it work for you. If you don't believe in yourself, no one will.
Being rich sure helps.
Don't you know that rich people have problems, too?
I guess so.
You hold on to your dreams, honey. They'll come true.
I just wanted you to know that there'll be no hard feelings if the survey goes against my granddaddy. I hope you won't have any hard feelings either.
Well, I've never seen eye to eye with your granddaddy. But I've never had any hard feelings towards you, Lurleen.
Thank you.
You know, you seem a lot different today.
Different?
Yeah. It's hard to put your finger on it, but you look a lot different. You kind of glow all over.
Well, I feel very happy. Maybe that's what it is. And, I made a big decision for myself.
What's that?
Well, I decided that I'm not going to let my life control me. From now on, I'm going to take charge of my own life.
You know, I made that same decision once. Just about that time, the guy I was staying with ran off, stuck me with $50 worth of telephone bills and 2 months' rent.
That is terrible.
That's life.
Hey, what's the big idea?
What's up?
Oh, nothing, just Helen's idea of a little joke.
I think I should leave you two.
figure this thing out while I go back to my office?
Very funny. One confession special. What kind of order is that supposed to be, huh?
I guess I gave you the wrong order.
I guess you did.
Sorry. Here.
Would you mind repeating what you just said?
I said I can't give you a divorce on the grounds of adultery because I haven't committed adultery.
Well, maybe I should sue for divorce on the grounds of being lied to then.
I'm sorry, Paige. I was under the assumption that you and Dennis had discussed this. Obviously, that's not true. Under the circumstances, I think it's better that you get a lawyer and discuss any future legal arrangements between the two attorneys.
Is that really necessary, Stryker? I'm not contesting the divorce. I'm not asking for support. My only condition is that I can't give Dennis a divorce on the grounds of adultery.
You know, I'm sorry you're making things so difficult. Maybe we should change the ground to facilitate matters. How does mental cruelty sound?
That's fine, whatever you want.
Oh, don't give me that whatever you want, Dennis stuff. I know you better than that, Paige. Now, look, I don't know what it is you're after, but whatever it is, I'm not going along with it.
That's enough. Now, I've heard enough. Now, I'm not going to tolerate any more of this. Any more talk has to be done between the attorneys.
Well, that's fine with me.
Paige, I'm sorry. I know that it's not unusual for parties to scream at each other in matters like this. Somehow I hope this wasn't going to happen here.
I understand, Stryker.
I'll have Hallie give you the phone number of Don Williams. He's a good man and excellent in matters like this.
Thank you.
Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to talk to Dennis alone.
If it's all right with you, Stryker, I'd like to have a minute with him first.
Any news yet?
No. Oh, what you need, Kate?
Oh, they're busy sewing name tags on Stephen's clothes.
He finally decided to go, huh?
Yes, he did.
Well, I'm glad. I think he's going to have a nice time there.
I used to love summer camp. I would start looking forward to it in December. I couldn't wait for it to start. And then when it stopped, oh, don't you laugh at me. I would always cry. Those are some of the happiest days of my life. I think Steve will feel the same way. Did you ever go to summer camp?
No, my folks couldn't afford it. My daddy needed me here to help with the work.
You know, I bet Lurleen never went to summer camp.
No, she didn't. She worked a couple summers at the dime store and Mr. Henry's pharmacy. You know, I feel real bad about her, all those big dreams she's had.
She's scared to death of Bubba Wadsworth, isn't she?
Well, she never wants to talk about him. She changes the subject every time his name comes up.
I think he's coming on to her. Well, he thinks he's God's gift to women, you know.
Would you talk to her about it?
Oh, no. She's very shy with me. Maybe Jeb knows something. Why don't you ask him, huh? Maybe we can do something.
Sure.
It's incredible, Max. That oil rig has turned everyone's lives upside down.
Well, it'll all be over soon.
You pulled it off.
Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you that he was the best survey man in Texas?
So it's official.
My partner's finishing the reports now.
Where's Ryan Connor?
He and Ashley went over to the property that he and Ginny are buying from Kate. He thought that the survey would take at least another hour and a half.
Well, buddy, we're back in the oil business.
Yeah, I guess we are.
I've got some promising leads on deals with independent operators.
Yeah, well, I think we'll take it slow from now on. Let the tempers cool down, let the egos deflate a little bit. Then we'll talk about business.
I think that's smart. Very smart indeed.
Yeah, well, I think we should take advantage of every opportunity that we've got.
Bubba, I said we're going to cool it for a while. Jay here helped us out of a real bind. I don't think we should let anything like that ever happen to us again.
Certainly. But I want to talk to both of you in the conference room as soon as you're finished.
So what is this? One last attempt for a plea?
Plea for what?
For whatever it is you're after, Paige.
Why can't you believe me? I've already told you I don't want it.
Because I've gotten to know you fairly well.
I can understand your believing that I've been unfaithful to you.
Oh, I do believe that.
I've never been unfaithful
You
to you.
moved in with that guy. What am I supposed to believe?
Peter is only a friend.
You have a habit of moving in with your male friends?
Iris had fired me, Dennis. She'd kicked me out of the suite. I had nowhere else to go.
Come on, there are apartments all over Houston for rent.
I felt so alone. I didn't want to be by
Oh,
myself.
don't give me that. You were seeing that guy while I was in jail.
That's not true.
Well, you got friendly awfully fast.
I knew Peter in Hollywood. But since he's been here, the only times I've seen him have been at the Top of the World Club.
Are you sure?
All right, one night, I got very upset and I needed someone to talk to, and I had dinner with him in his hotel room. That happened to be the night that I put Joe Foster together with Chris Shaw. As a matter of fact, Peter was the one who
Oh, I
pointed it
suppose
out
you're going to
for me.
remind me that you're the one who got the charges against me reduced from first-degree murder to manslaughter?
No, I'm not going to remind you of anything, Dennis. I only want you to know that I'll do anything for you. And that I'm not going to stop trying to get the charges against you dropped altogether.
I think it's a little bit late for that, don't you?
No, it's not too late.
Listen to me. I don't want your help, Paige. I don't need it. You and your cheap friends and your filthy pornographic movie. All I want from you now is to be left alone.
When I came here today, I was prepared for your hatred, Dennis. But I wasn't prepared for the depth of it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you something. You haven't seen anything yet.
You're really trying my patience. You know that, Elena?
I'm not trying to try your patience, Joe. I just want you to write the confession that'll get Dennis Carrington out of jail.
And I told you I'm going to do that when I get the money.
Too late then, Joe. He'll already be in prison.
What's wrong with a couple of days in jail?
I remember somebody telling me once that even a few days in prison can change a man.
Well, who is this Carrington guy, and what's the big deal with him? You hardly even know him.
Joe, it's not just Dennis I'm concerned with. I'm just as concerned with you as I am with him. I just want you to do the right thing.
If you were concerned with me, you'd help me try and get that money.
Oh, Joe, I am trying to help you. That's why I want you to write the confession.
Damn it, Elena! I wish I'd never met you!
You don't mean that.
No, I don't. But I want to know why you're making my life so miserable all of a sudden.
Joe, it's not me. Now, once you write that confession, you'll have a clearer conscience. That's what it is that's bothering you right now.
Great. I'll have a clear conscience and a cell in the Houston lockup.
I would not let that happen to you, I promise.
Oh, don't be naive, Elena. This is the big, bad world. Now, if I turn that confession over and the police find me and I have confessed to Chris Shaw's murder, they're going to throw me in jail. You cannot stop that from happening.
So, Joe, we will get you, or I will get you, the best lawyer in the country.
Look, I know you'll do everything you can, but the police are going to be on my tail once they get that confession. They're going to know I'm here, still in the country. Right now they think I'm in Mexico or someplace.
Joe, I know what it is that's bothering you.
I just told you what's bothering me.
No, I think that you realize that I'm right. Now, if you thought I was wrong, you would just say no and forget it. But I know that you can't let an innocent man suffer either. Please, Joe. Please.
Oh, I'm so relieved this is all over with.
What were you and Ryan talking about when Jay and Bubba left?
Oh, we were just talking about his schedule for tomorrow. He had to rearrange a lot of appointments to be here today.
But he did buy the results of the survey, didn't he?
Oh, yes. No questions. Listen, Jay Collins is so slick, I'd have believed anything he told me. Well, what was Bubba so upset about?
Well, he was talking about putting a lot of deals together that would have ended up just like this one. I told him no.
Take me home. I am tired of the wide open spaces. I'm burned to a crisp. I must have a ton of dirt in my hair and my feet hurt so bad I can't hardly
Let's go
walk.
celebrate.
That sounds good to me.
Well, hi, Lily. Listen, we've been looking all over for you. The survey's in, and it proves that oil is being pumped right off your granddaddy's property. Now you're going to be as rich as Rena Bellman Decker. Well, almost as rich.
It's true? It sure is.
Well, you're supposed to be happy, Lily.
Well, I am happy.
You don't look happy. What's wrong?
I was just thinking about Max and what this will do to him.
So all the proof, it's right here, Max. I watched Jay Collins and his partner. They say that the well's being drilled at a 12-degree angle, but that's not at all unusual. And it's not nearly enough to tap into any oil pool on your property. I was so sure. I can't pretend to understand these calculations, but a striker knows what they mean. If you want, you can keep these and have him explain them to you.
Yes, I would.
I guess I better go now.
Thanks for bringing the maps and reports, Ryan.
Sure. Call you later, huh?
It's over, honey.
I don't believe any of this. I know that Justin is stealing oil from our land, and I'm gonna find a way to prove it.
Who is it?
It's Elena Decker, Paige. I'm sorry for coming by without calling first. I know it's late.
What is it?
Paige, I have something real important that I have to talk to you about. I guess you're surprised to see me here.
I am a little. Something wrong?
I have something that's extremely important. I have to give to you, but I've got to talk to you about it first.
Come in. What is it?
Well, I could get into trouble for even being here, Paige. The important thing, though, is to get Dennis free.
What did you say?
Look, you have to promise me that you won't tell anybody that I was here. I called over to the coop to make sure that Mr. Parnell was there. But nobody can know about what I'm going to give to you.
I promise, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm talking about this.
What is it?
It's a confession from Joe Foster. It says that he killed Chris Shaw.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.
satisfied with the survey?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I talked with some people around town I know, and they seem to feel that Jay Collins is all right. He's certainly been around long enough to know what he's doing, huh?
But Max doesn't believe that.
Well, he has no choice. Now, he asked me to investigate, and I did. He may not like the results any better than I do, but he's just going to have to accept them.
Does that mean that Justin will drill more wells on the Harbor Place?
No, I don't think so. Not for a little while, at least. I know he's working out some deals in Mississippi and Louisiana.
Will you approve those deals?
Well, not without the support of the board of directors. It involves a huge commitment of World Oil funds.
What about Iris?
She's on the board, and I'm sure she's going to voice her opinion very clearly. In favor of Justin, of course.
I have a feeling you and Justin are on a collision course.
Hey, don't worry. I can deal with Justin.
Hey, Billy Joe. Oh, hey there, Jebber. How you doing? Not too bad. How are you? Oh, pretty good. Pretty good. Oh, this here's Lillian, Billy Joe. Oh, hi, darling. We met before. Welcome back.
Fine.
Just take any table you want. We just opened the door. Okie doke. I'll see you in a while. Okay.
Is Elena Decker going to sing tonight?
Oh, yeah. Well, I sure hope so.
Okay.
Okay, you take it easy.
All right.
There you go. Lorraine, you gonna have grasshoppers again?
No more grasshoppers from me. I'll have a beer.
A beer? Now listen, you're a rich girl. You know what you ought to be drinking? Martinis.
I don't think so.
Hey, what's the matter? Don't you like being rich anymore?
Well, sure I do.
Yeah, well, you could have fooled me here. Listen, I'm glad you didn't lose all your money. I really am. But I'm still surprised the way that survey turned out, I'll tell you that.
Do you still think Bubba Wadsworth's a crook?
Well, you bet I do. And so do the people that I work undercover for.
Well, I know he's a crook. All you have to do is look at his eyes. They're shifty.
Yeah, but we need more proof than just shifty eyes.
We sure seemed friendly with that Jay Collins man who did the survey today.
Oh, yeah? He did, huh?
You know, I haven't seen Bubba in such a good mood in a long time.
Yeah, well, he stands to make quite a bit of money off that well.
Well, yeah, I know that. But he was in a good mood all day. Long before the survey was finished. So was Justin Marshall. Seemed like...
Like what? Come on, talk to me.
I guess they were just convinced that the survey would prove that they were drilling honestly. And it did.
Yeah. Well, let's have some fun tonight, all right? Well, what do you guys have to drink? It's on the house. On the house? Uh-oh. I'll have a beer, and now she's rich. She's real rich, and she ought to have something appropriate for that, you know? Wait a minute, she's a rich lady? Yeah, you bet she is.
I'll have a beer.
Well, speaking of rich girls...
Thank you.
You're welcome. Would you and Mrs. Belden like to have cocktails before dinner?
We will wait for Mr. Carrington. Thank you, Alfredo.
Very good, sir.
How did things go at the office today?
All right.
Honey, is something bothering you? You seem to have been somewhere else ever since you came by KVIK to pick me up.
Well, I guess it wouldn't be a breach of confidence if I told you Dennis and Page came by the office today. Dennis is filing divorce proceedings.
Oh, that's too bad. But it's not surprising. Not after what happened here the other night.
I don't know. Something's unnatural about Dennis' feelings toward Page.
Unnatural?
He's too angry. Something's wrong.
Divorce can often bring out a great deal of bitterness in people.
Hello, Vicky.
Hello, Elliot.
Stryker. Elliot, I'm sorry if I'm a little late.
No, it's all right. We just arrived ourselves.
Oh, good. Well, I called Dennis and asked him to join us here, but he said he'd rather be alone tonight.
Did Dennis tell you that he stopped by my office this afternoon?
No, he didn't mention it.
I thought he might have.
Was he discussing his reporting to prison day after tomorrow?
Dennis has asked me to file for the divorce.
Paige, you gotta promise me that you're not gonna tell anyone that I came by here tonight. Well, I even called the coop to make sure that Mr. Parnell was there. Nobody can know about what I'm gonna give you.
All right, I promise, but I have no idea what you're talking about, Elena.
I'm talking about this.
What is it?
It's a confession from Joe Foster. It says he killed Chris Shaw. Read it.
I don't know what to say.
Well, it's dated and it's signed. You think the police will accept it?
I think so, but where did you get this, Elena?
Texas, starring Beverly McKenzie.
I can't tell you where I got it.
But I'm not sure that the confession will hold up unless I know where you got it, Elena.
But, Paige, it's written in Joe Foster's handwriting. You could check that with the Maritime Union.
Did Joe Foster give this to you?
It doesn't matter. The most important thing is you get it to the proper people.
Well, I can take it to Stryker Bellman tonight, but he's going to want to know where I got it.
You could say that you found it slipped under the door. Well, Joe Foster used to work for Mr. Parnell, and you're Dennis's wife.
No, the police will never believe me.
But they have to. You got to make them believe you, Paige. And you have to not tell anyone that I came by here to see you.
I'm not sure I can do that, Elena.
Paige, you have to. Look, I took a really big risk by coming here tonight. And the only reason why Joe Foster wrote that was for Dennis's sake.
But why would a killer want to...
He's not a killer. Chris Shaw's murder was an accident.
Elena, are you involved with this man?
I can't say I said too much already, Paige. I gotta go.
Elena... I won't tell anybody that you were here, all right?
Thank you.
What strange things we do for the people we love.
On what grounds is Dennis filing for a divorce?
Well, I can't discuss that with you, Elliot. We haven't ironed out the details yet.
Well, are you representing both of them?
No, I recommended a divorce lawyer for Paige. Donald Williams, an excellent man, although I must say she wasn't very interested in him.
Well, why not?
She said it wasn't necessary. She wants Dennis to have whatever he wants.
Well, I wish Dennis had told me about it.
Why didn't he? He can hardly keep it a secret.
Sorry to throw a damper on the evening.
Honey, I know how worried you are about Dennis.
How did Paige take it?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. She seemed calm enough, but people sometimes react differently under those circumstances.
Who's she? That's Lacey Wheeler. She's Grant Wheeler's daughter, niece of Alex Wheeler, late Alex Wheeler.
Oh, you sound like you know her.
I met her once.
Huh. Oh, excuse me. Sure.
You don't like Miss Wheeler very much, do you?
I don't know her very well. What I do know of her, I don't particularly like.
She looks like a sweet little thing.
Oh, yeah, she's sweet, all right. She's tough as nails, and she's got a temper to go with it, too.
Sounds like you had a fight with her.
She came into the stable one day, walking around like she owned the place, trying to ride one of the horses. I told her to get out.
What was she doing there in the first place?
I don't know, she's there with her father. Except Max had told her that she could ride a horse, but I didn't know that.
What does her daddy do?
He's a trainer, breeder.
Is he successful or does he have his own money?
I think he's successful. I think he's successful himself.
And I guess Lacey's been rich all her life.
Yeah, and she acts it.
Hey, Joe.
Hello, Elaine.
Hello, Elaine. It's been a long time.
It sure has. I want to congratulate you on your hit record. I hear it on the radio all the time. I even bought a copy.
Well, thank you.
You gonna sing tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm really looking forward to hear you sing in person. I never thought when we were growing up you were going to be a big recording star.
Well, me either.
I heard you were staying out the ranch for a while.
Yeah, I was for a couple of days.
I didn't see you except for this one time when you were coming out of barn number 3. I was going to say hello, but you looked like you were in a real hurry to get back to the house.
Yeah, maybe I should give Rena a call and see if things are okay at the cabin.
Why don't you do that? I'll go in and see if Kate needs some help with the supper, all right? Oh, hi, Kate. I was just going to come in and help you.
Oh, well, there's nothing to do but wait until the casserole gets done.
Ah,
that won't take much very long.
Thank you. Sit down and join us.
How did Justin react to the survey about the drilling?
Well, as a matter of fact, he was very gracious about it.
I'm surprised.
I'm surprised, too. I expected at least one I told you so. But all he said was that he hoped that he and I could trust each other from now on.
That means he's up to no good.
Well, maybe not, Kate. He stands to make a lot of money off the Harper well. It should keep him happy for a little while, right?
Well, but I have a feeling he's going to start in again about drilling for oil on my ranch.
I don't know. He knows that you'll never agree to that. I don't think there's really any point to it.
Oh, I wish I could believe you.
Kate, stop worrying about it.
Kate, at least you don't have to worry about Justin going to jail.
Well, not anytime soon.
Ryan will keep an eye on Justin for you.
Yeah. I'm going to do my best to keep him out of trouble.
Oh. Oh, speaking of trouble, Wanda and Buddy told me that Mr. Harper got so drunk over at the Burley barbecue they had to call the sheriff again.
Oh, poor Lurleen.
Yep, you know, I met her on the way back from Wanda and Buddy's. I thought she'd be happy about being rich. Poor girl has mixed feelings just like the rest of us.
Oh, hi. Thought you were at the coop.
Well, I was, but Billy Joe seemed to have everything under control, so I left. Thought you and I might go have some dinner.
I can't, Peter.
What, are there plans?
Something's come up.
What have you got there?
It's a confession.
What?
It's from Joe Foster.
Don't be funny.
I'm serious.
What are you doing with it?
Well, when I got back this afternoon, I found it stuck under our door.
It's dated today.
I know.
Means he has to be in Houston somewhere.
Does he?
Why would Foster admit to a crime that somebody else is already going to jail for?
I don't know.
It's not like it.
How would you know what he's like?
He used to work for me. Not exactly a candidate for sainthood.
Maybe he had a guilty conscience.
Don't count on it. What are you going to do with this?
I'm going to take it to Stryker Bellman, Dennis's lawyer, right now.
Elaine, I didn't know you went down to the barns.
Well, I don't usually, but you see, Max and Rena are having this barn dance, and I wanted to get some ideas about decorating to help out Rena a little bit, you know?
Well, I'm real excited about the barn dance. I hadn't been one since I was 5 years old.
Yeah, I'm excited, too. Have they set a date yet?
No.
Elena, you like being here in town?
Well, in some ways. There are a lot of things about the ranch that I miss.
I'm not getting an apartment in town. Where do you live?
I live in my sister Terry's apartment at the Aquarius.
I heard she was working in Paris, France.
Yeah, she is. That's how come I got the apartment.
Could I come over sometime and take a look at your place?
Sure.
Hey, Elena, listen, I have an idea. After the show tonight, why don't we all go over there, you know, in the pool, have a few beers,
I
swim or
don't think
something?
that's really a good idea, Jim.
How come?
Well, I think that Lurleen should see the place in the daylight. She won't be able to see anything if it's dark.
Well, Elena's right, Jim. Besides, Elena will be real tired after singing tonight. She probably just wants to go home and go to bed.
Yeah, I will. But we'll make plans for you to come over sometime soon, okay?
That'd be real nice.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go put on my makeup.
Could you give me a few pointers?
Now?
Well, anytime.
Well, when you come over to my apartment, I'll do that, okay?
Sure, thanks. I don't remember Elena being that nervous.
She's been through a lot, you know, with the kidnapping and all that stuff.
I guess you're right. You know, it probably has something with her being a performer, too. I read somewhere where they're real high-strung, like thoroughbred horses.
I read that, too.
Speaking of thoroughbreds, I would like to meet that thoroughbred lady.
No, you don't want to meet her.
I do, too. I want to get a few pointers on how rich folks act.
Look, I'll tell you what. Talk to Rena. She's a lot nicer, and she's got, you know, just as much money. Besides, I don't think that she wants to talk to me any more than I want to talk to her.
Why don't you just smile and wave and see what happens?
Oh.
Come on, Jim, please. Please. Come on.
Hi. I know you smiled at horse thieves.
This is Lurleen Harper, this year's Lacey Wheeler.
How do you do?
Hello, Lacey. Have a seat.
Thank you.
Joe, it's me, Elena.
Where are you?
At the coop.
Did you give that confession to Dennis's wife?
Yeah, I did. Joe, you're doing the right thing.
Well, I hope you feel that way when I'm behind bars.
That is not going to happen.
I'm not so sure about that.
Look, I am going to help you get away.
When you coming back?
Late. I don't think you should wait up for me, okay?
It's okay. I'll wait up for you anyway.
Well, okay. I'll see you later, okay?
Will there be anything else?
That's all.
It was delicious, Alfredo.
Thank you, Mrs. Dillman. Good evening, Mrs. Dillman.
Hello, everyone. Paige, what a nice surprise.
Hello, Paige.
Elliot?
Paige, won't you join us?
Oh, I don't mean to impose, Stryker. I have something very important to talk to you about.
Well, if it's a private matter, we can go to another table.
Oh, that's not necessary. What I'm going to show you will become public knowledge soon enough.
Paige, now this is about the divorce.
No, it's nothing about the divorce, Stryker.
Well, sit down.
Thank you. I found this slipped under my door earlier this evening.
What is it?
It's a confession from Joe Foster, saying that he killed Chris Shaw.
Kate, would you like some more coffee?
No, thank you. I'm fine.
Say, we had the greatest time at that boathouse, Kate. They had this live band, and they played all the old favorites, right?
Next time you'll have to come with us.
Well, as a matter of fact, Judge Rayburn has already invited me to go with him.
Oh, that's wonderful.
You know, he used to be such a good dancer. I suppose he still is. He always liked to dance to the big band sounds. He and Mr. Marshall were the best friends, you know.
Say, maybe we could double date sometime. How does that sound, huh?
We'll see.
I understand that Vicky and Stryker were thinking about buying Judge Rayburn's house in Acapulco. Rena and Max are supposed to go down there this weekend, but now...
That sounds like a good idea. Maybe take Max's mind off that oil pump.
Yeah. Oh, Jenny, do you have any more name tags to sew on Steve's clothes?
No, I just used the last of them.
I'm surprised Steve decided to go away to camp.
Why?
Well, I didn't think anything could take him away from that solar energy project of his.
He and Max have already finished half of it, so they can do the rest when he gets back from camp.
Well, why don't you two go out on the porch? I can finish the dishes.
No, we're going to help you.
No, I can manage.
We'll do it together. Besides, I want to hear more about Judge Rayburn.
Well, there's nothing more to tell. He's a fine gentleman. I see him every Sunday at church. And he's always been such a good friend of the Marshall family. And he's a good dancer.
Hey.
Is the confession genuine?
Certainly seems to be.
Well, what does it say, Stryker?
Well, it says that Chris Shaw and Foster got in a fight and that Foster killed him in self-defense.
Well, will the district attorney accept this?
That depends.
On what, Stryker?
Now, on a lot of things, the details certainly seem correct. The paperweight next to Dennis's hand, the position of the bodies.
But what?
Anyone could have gathered that from the newspapers.
But it's signed, Stryker.
Yes, I know that. And, of course, the DA will check out the signature.
Well, then what's bothering you, Stryker?
I don't know why Foster would sign a confession.
Will the DA want to do the same thing?
Yes, he will. And Foster's asking for a guaranteed prison term. What's more, everyone knows in Houston the police will be combing the town for him.
Well, why does the confession mean that he's in Houston? Maybe he had somebody deliver it for him.
Dated today, Ricky.
Well, what are you going to do now?
Well, I'm going to call up the DA and tell him what's happened. Then I'm going to take this down to police headquarters and give it to him so they can get started right away.
Well, shouldn't Dennis be told about this?
Not yet. I want to prove the validity of the confession first. No sense getting Dennis all worked up until we're sure it's a real thing.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that, but I suppose it's true.
Paige, I want to thank you for handing this in to me so quickly.
Well, I only hope it can stop Dennis from going to prison, Stryker.
We all hope for that.
Stryker, I would like to ask a favor if I could.
What?
Well, I would rather you wouldn't tell Dennis that it was I who brought you the confession.
Oh, I don't think I can keep this a secret, Paige.
It would mean a great deal to me, Stryker.
The minute this turned over to the DA, the press going to know about it in a matter of hours.
Stryker's right, Paige.
Paige, I think you should be very proud being able to help Dennis this way. Why do you want to keep it a secret?
Don't get me wrong. I am very proud to be able to help. I'm just afraid that Dennis won't see it in that light.
Well, I better call the DA, and then I'm going on down to police headquarters.
I'll go with you, honey.
Let me know what the DA says, Stryker.
I will. Thank you again, Paige.
You must be very happy.
Oh, Paige, you just don't know how happy.
Oh, I think I've got a pretty good idea.
I only wish that you could share my happiness.
I do, in a way. Well, I really better go.
Have you eaten yet?
No, but I'll just get some room service at the hotel.
Well, why don't you have dinner here?
No, I really shouldn't, Elliot.
Is Peter expecting you?
No.
Well, then are you afraid to stay here with me?
Why should I be afraid?
That's what I'd like to know.
I was real sorry to hear about your Uncle Alex passing away, Lacey.
Thank you, Lorraine.
I used to see him all the time out at the Marshall Ranch. I never got to meet him, though.
I don't remember ever seeing him. Sorry I never got to know him.
How long you planning to be in Houston?
Well, my dad's looking for a horse farm. Talk to Mr. Jefferson.
Dudley Jefferson. He used to be one of the top horse breeders in Texas. He's getting real old now and his sons aren't interested in horses. It's real sad. Well, if your daddy buys the Jefferson place, we'll be neighbors.
Yeah. It was about 20 miles from the Marshall Ranch.
Then we'll be real close neighbors. How do you like Texas?
I like it for the most part. Most of the people are friendly and good-natured. I like your shirt, Lorleen.
Do you? Oh, I thought it might have been a little bit too fancy. But I don't know. Oh, Elena, I want you to meet our new neighbor, Lacey Wheeler. This is Elena Decker.
How do you do?
Hello. You don't look like you did anything too fancy to your makeup.
Well, it was real hot in the ladies' room, and I just couldn't stand it anymore, so I'm just going to have to go on like this.
Oh, it looks fine to me.
Hey, Elena, I got to talk to you.
My, but that girl gets real nervous before she goes on to sing, don't she?
She sure does.
Jeb, you're forgetting your manners. Lacey's been sitting here for 15 minutes and you haven't even offered her a beer.
Oh, that's okay, Lorleen. I can get my own.
Don't be silly. Jeb.
Well, how you feeling tonight, Elena?
I'm feeling fine, Billy Joe.
Oh, yeah? Well, you look terrific. But best I've seen in a long time.
Thank you.
Well, what do you think about this new singing arrangement with your, alternating with your brother?
Well, I like it a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, it gives me a lot of free time. How about you? How do you like it?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it's going to work out all right. Well, what do you think about my sister Ruby?
She seems very nice.
Yeah?
Yeah, she seems to know a lot about the music business.
Well, yeah, I guess she knows a lot, yeah.
Billy Joe.
What?
Didn't you say you wanted to talk to me?
Well, yeah, I did.
Uh-huh. About what?
Yeah, there was something I wanted to ask you.
Well, what is it?
Well, I was wondering.
What were you wondering, Billy Joe?
I was wondering if my sister Ruby could move in with you.
Thank you, Alfred.
You're welcome. I'm glad you decided to stay, Paige.
Well, it seems I had to prove a point.
Was that the real reason? I understand that Dennis is going ahead with the divorce.
Yes, he is.
I'm sorry. Oh, I've often wished I could turn back the clock and stop it at some time when all the circumstances would make life glorious and wonderful. For however brief a time.
I'm not sure there ever was such a time for me, Elliot.
You and Dennis were very happy in the beginning.
I had to live with the knowledge that no matter how much I came to love Dennis later, that I still had tricked him into marrying me.
I think you're being too hard on yourself.
No. When Dennis married me, I was a very different woman from what I am now. He changed me a lot, Elliot.
And you changed Dennis.
I'm not sure that that's for the better.
I think the bitterness will pass, Paige. With time.
I'm not sure I can ever forgive myself for inflicting so much hurt on him, though, Elliot. You've been such a good friend to me.
I've tried to be. That friendship is very important to me.
It's very important to me, too. I don't know what I would have done without you these past few months. I really don't.
I know that you still love Dennis. The pain of that will pass.
I suppose I still love him. I really don't know anymore. There's one thing I am sure of, though. It's over between us.
It's open. Ginny. What a pleasant surprise.
Hello, Justin.
I expected a friendlier greeting.
I'm not feeling very friendly towards you these days.
Why not?
Do you have any idea what you're doing to Kate?
I'm as embarrassed as Grandma is about Max's accusations. I assure you, I'm not slant drilling on the Harper property.
And what about your trying to buy control of the ranch?
I have as much right to the ranch as Grandma does.
I'm not going to allow that to happen, Justin. You're killing Kate.
I'm not killing anyone. Grandma and I have different ideas about the ranch. She doesn't care whether it operates at a profit or not. I do.
Most years it has operated at a profit. If you'd care to look at the books, you'd find that out.
Well, it doesn't matter now anyway. Grandma still has control of the property because Barrett and Courtney won't sell their shares to me. It really doesn't interest me anymore anyway.
Well, if you're not interested, then why don't you sell the shares to Kate that you bought from Paige and Dawn?
Ginny, you and Barry are getting a divorce, right? I mean, this is none of your business anymore, is it?
Justin, Steve is going to inherit Barrett's share of that ranch. And I intend to make sure that there's a ranch to inherit, not an oil field.
When the investigation into the Harper property is completed and the well is back in production, I'm going to be making more money than I'll know what to do with. I don't need to drill on the Martian.
Good. You can go out and buy half of Texas, but leave Kate alone. That ranch is her whole life, Justin.
I'm aware of that.
Then sell her your share of the ranch.
Not a chance.
You still think you can get control, don't you?
I want my son to inherit a ranch too, Ginny. Maybe he and Stephen can run it together. Tell Grandma to relax. She doesn't have a thing to worry about.
I don't know what you're up to, Justin. But you'd better not hurt Kate anymore. I'm warning you.
Why are you so quiet?
Oh, I was just thinking about Kate.
You're worried about Kate now, aren't you?
I've just never seen her so unsettled. Justin's done this to her, and I resent it.
Look, so many things have happened all at once. The oil well, Justin wanting to buy the ranch, you and Barrett getting divorced. I can understand why she's unsettled.
But she used to take all that in stride, right?
She's not young anymore. You're just going to have to face that.
I know.
We'll do whatever we can to help her now, won't we?
You've been so wonderful to Kate.
Okay, it's my family now. Besides, I love her.
Grant's part of your family, too.
I know. Maybe you and I could have dinner with Grant and his daughter sometime this week. Would you like to?
I'd like that, yeah.
You know, I don't even think I'm going to be able to recognize Lacey. I haven't seen her since she was 4 years old.
You two will have a lot of catching up to do.
I just wish Grant would hurry up and find a horse farm to buy.
Why?
Well, it's awfully hard for me to talk to Grant, to get to know him while he's still staying at Iris's.
Is that why you've been avoiding Grant?
I haven't been avoiding Grant. I've been busy. Grant's been busy, too.
Well, Iris certainly can't stay mad at you forever.
I sure hope not. Well, at least, Rena seems to think it won't last.
Now that all this business is over with Justin, you can concentrate on making peace with Iris.
I will.
Honey, you look so tired.
Oh, it's just been a real long day. Well, I guess I should be getting back to town, shouldn't I? But I don't want to leave you.
So, I'm surprised you came to the coop all by yourself.
Well, why?
Well, I'd never come without Jeb.
Are you and Jeb going out together?
Oh, no, we're just good friends.
Oh.
Well, what brought you to the coop?
Well, I heard Elena Decker's song on the radio and saw in the newspaper that she was singing here tonight. So I thought I'd come listen to her.
She's real good.
No, I'm surprised they don't have one of those mechanical bulls around here. I'd love to ride one.
What'd you say? Did you say something about riding? You'd probably break your neck on one of them bulls.
I doubt it. I've been riding since I was 3 years old.
Yeah, well, there's a big difference between horses, you know, and bulls.
No kidding. I noticed. Bulls have bigger ears.
Oh.
Have you ever ridden one?
What? We had a rodeo at the ranch a little while back.
How'd you do?
I did real well, Lurleen, real well. Buddy Coleman gave me some tips and stuff, you know.
Buddy Coleman is a professional rodeo rider. Lives out our way. He has a ton of championship belt buckles.
Is there a place around here where they have a mechanical bull?
Yeah, I know of a couple of places.
Well, one of these nights, we're going to have to go out and have a contest. Unless you're afraid of losing to a woman.
A woman?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to be responsible for when you get hurt there.
You're afraid you'll lose.
I won't lose.
Well, okay. It's a date.
Billy Joe, did I hear you right? You want your sister Ruby to move in with me?
As a roommate.
Have you said anything to Ruby about this?
Well, no, I haven't actually talked to her yet.
Well, don't you think you should, Billy Joe?
Well, oh yeah, I'm going to discuss it with her. I just wanted to kind of feel things out with you first.
I see.
Well, what do you think about it, Elena?
Billy Joe, I don't think it's a very good idea.
No?
No, I don't. Well, are you and Ruby not getting along?
Oh, well, we're getting along all right,
Well,
I guess.
What's the problem?
The problem is she's trying to run my life for me. You know, arranging all my drawers so neat that I can't find anything, and little things. You know, she's always complaining about me squeezing the middle of the toothpaste, and, well, you know, I tell you, if she tries it, I swear if she does any more, I'm going to give up brushing my teeth altogether.
Billy Joe, I really don't think it could be that bad.
It's not only that, though, Lane. It's just that right now I'm trying for all I'm worth to try to get Nita to come back with me, and all. I don't need Ruby hanging around the apartment right now, going at me all the time.
Well, maybe Ruby has a point, Billy Joe.
What do you mean a point?
Well, maybe you do need a little bit more organization in your life.
What I need is to be left alone.
Billy Joe, look, I'd really like to help you out. I really don't know what I can do about it.
What you can do is let Ruby move in with you and stay for a little while. You'd be doing me a big favor, Lena.
Like I said, I'd like to help you out, but I really can't.
Why not?
Because I just don't want a roommate.
It's easier for two girls to live together. That way, when you go in the bathroom and see lingerie hanging all over the shower curtains, you don't get upset.
Billy Joe, I want to help you out, but I can't.
It's only for a little while, Elena, just for a few weeks.
I'm sorry, Billy Joe.
Look, and then I can go in and help Ruby find a place of her own.
Billy Joe, I can't do it. I just can't do it.
Listen, friend, I don't think you got the message. I'm through with doing that kind of work. You understand? Look, you killed Chris. What difference does one more make?
That was an accident.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like the one Alex Wheeler's gonna have.
I said
no. From now on, you get someone else to do your dirty work for you, okay?
You're gone a long time.
Yeah.
Elliot was at the Top of the World Club with Stryker and Vicky, so I just stayed and had dinner with him.
What'd Stryker say about the confession?
Well, he's called the DA about it, and the police are checking the validity of the confession.
Means the police will be looking for Foster.
I doubt that they ever stop, but at least now they know that he's in the Houston area.
But the cops will be glad to have the Chris Shaw murder case tied up once and for all.
Well, I think the Houston police are hoping for more than that, Peter.
Why, what do you mean?
Well, the papers always implied that Chris Shaw was involved in some sort of illegal drug operation. My guess is that they're going to use Joe Foster to lead them to the man who runs it.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Oh, I am so beat. I'm going to go to bed. Right. Night.
Night.
Yeah?
Sorry about that, Joe. But you're not going to lead the police to anybody.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.